G'day guys, welcome to Plan B. This trip was meant to be an outback Queensland trip. Obviously that's all underwater at the moment. The Diamantina in particular is flooded. So rather than head up there and face a bazillion closed roads and angry locals that are upset we're ruining their roads, we've decided to head southwest, gonna head down to Western Victoria, I guess. And just have a good look around there. It's mostly country areas, not a lot of, I guess, bush camping as such. But I haven't been down that way. I've spent very little time down that way. So just going to go for an explore and see what's around. This morning we are waking up on the Murrumbidgee River. Headed south out of town last night. And I guess we're just going to keep going that direction. Follow the Murrumbidgee down to the Murray. And then, yeah, west from there. See what happens, I don't know. The big kangaroo and the big emu, didn't even know this was here. We're just outside the town of Lockhart now, and I've just discovered this fella.
So we've gone from cows and puppies to sheep and cookies.
Yeah. Oh. Sorry we didn't film coming in, guys. We were in a mad rush to beat the sun. As you can see, it's pretty much dark now. We have driven, I don't know, 5 or 6 hours from where we were last night to a spot on the Little Murray River not far out of Swan Hill. So yeah, this is us for the night. As I said, unfortunately we didn't get to film coming in because we were just flat out trying to get here. But I'll give you a good look at what the campsite looks like in the morning anyway. So this is our camp on the Little Murray River. I said last night I'd show it to you this morning. It is a pretty specky little spot. There's quite a few campers in here, as you'd expect being Easter, but there are still spots like this available, which is yeah, just awesome. The Murray River, I guess the Little Murray River is like a little detour. So it starts on the Murray, rejoins the Murray, but it's just a little offshoot, I guess. But the main Murray River itself would just be chockers around this area. We're out towards Swan Hill today. I think we're going to head a bit further southwest. There's a big salt lake out that way. Maybe want to check out that as well. But as I said earlier, who really knows? We're just going to see what happens. We've done a long chunk of tar and just nothing. Filled up in Swan Hill, a bit more of nothing, and we have pulled up at the Point car park for Lake Tyrrell. So windy here, guys. I hope you can hear me. This is Lake Tyrrell. I'm going to call it Lake Air Light. Massive big salt lake that you are actually allowed to walk on, unlike Lake Air now. So yeah, a bit of a privilege to be out here. Very, very cool. Wandering out, and would have just seen there's just literal salt crust on top of this thing. But if you poke your sort of toe through it, there's just a crust and then just endless slop underneath this. So don't be silly and come driving on it thinking it's all hard, because you will die. Well, your vehicle will anyway. Just south of Lake Tyrrell is a little town called Sea Lake, and in Sea Lake they've got some pretty cool painted silos. Check these out. So apparently they light this thing up twice a night to encourage visitors to hang out in the town of Sea Lake for the night. Unfortunately, we're not going to show you that because we're on the move, but come here and check it out for yourself one day. This is what happens when you have a no plan. We've got to a point in the Mallee now where there's a silo art trail and there's just painted silos all over the place. So I guess what we're doing now is following the silo art trail, go and have a look at some of the artwork. Some of it's really impressive. So anyway, stop one, Major Mitchell's cockatoo on a water tank. Turns out there's a bloody campground just here. Toilets and everything. Yeah, not a bad spot if you're looking for somewhere to stay. As I stand on a bloody thistle. It's an emu wren. Yeah. Didn't even know that was a thing. Well, that's a short little walk, but yeah, worthwhile stopping if you're in the area. Anyway, we'll head on out of here and go and check out some more silos. This one is called Rosebery Silo Art. These silos actually date back to 1939, so they're nearly 100 years old, and they were painted like this in 2017. It's not the most colourful one I've seen, but one of the more detailed ones in the way that the drawing and that is put together on there. It's pretty impressive, the shading and everything. So anyway, we'll leave this one now and head on to the next one, which is Grin or Grim or something, I think. Anyway, let's go look. This one is called the Graincorp Brim Silo Art Site. It's basically a series of portraits of some, I guess, locals. It was done in 2016. Again, not a huge amount of colour, but quite a bit of detail in those portraits. I've pulled up on the side of the road here to show you a sacred place to me and my people. This is the thong tree. Now, I'm not a religious person, but that's my shrine, my temple right there. So a couple of things have happened on the drive to this spot, which is a little spot near Jesperet. I felt the steering starting to get quite loose. I was having to overcorrect just to keep the thing straight. I've jumped under for a look and found that one of the tie rod ends is crapped out. It's just got heaps of play in it, so there's just so much extra movement in the steering. It's getting just awful to drive. The good news is Repco in Horsham, which is an hour from here, have got one. The better news is we've got this magic little campsite. We're going to chill out here for the night, have a good sleep, and then in the morning wrestle that thing for an hour down the road to Horsham and swap it out in the car park of Repco, as you do when you're on a trip. But yeah, this spot sort of soothes the pain for sure. It's a very nice spot. Not far from camp is a little boat ramp which gave us the perfect opportunity for a swim and a wash before we headed into Horsham. So that is, we're leaving, we've got about 5 k's out of town and the ball joint just let go. And scarily we lost all steering. Lucky we left early in the morning so there's no cars around, so we managed to just drift off the road, but yeah, a bit scary. So we've used some fencing wire to try and hold that ball joint together now, and we'll limp it into Horsham and hopefully get the part, get it sorted. Crisis averted. We got one. Yeah, so that's not meant to come out of there like that. We're back in business. New tie rod end installed. Now we have steering again. Hooray! As you can see, it's the weather's turned. The dust storms are gone, but the rain has set in. It's pretty cool, wet, miserable at the moment. So that's why we've decided. Oh, sorry, I'll turn you this way. Try and keep the rain off it. That's why we've decided we're going to go camp at the Wolseley Hotel, which is this little country pub just over the South Australian border. But in the meantime, we've pulled up to this joint, which is the historic Surveston Railway Station. So we're going to go for a look at that. Alright, how you going? When it's manned and opened, you're allowed to do a tour of the Surveston Railway Station and have a look through all the old waiting rooms and boarding houses, and even underneath where they had some jail cells. Wow. It's a really interesting old building. This must be where the fancy ladies hung up. Hello, love. You been waiting long? Not much of a talker, huh? Righto. This is the old booking room, obviously. Or ticket room, or whatever you want to call it. Entering underneath. Bit too long, mate. This guy even longer. Oh look, the old cellar chute.
They shackle them up here, then they have 3 or 4 hour changeover, and that's what they have. They go all the way down there, then always up here.
So these are old cells where they all go?
Yeah.
Yeah, they in the walls here. See where these squares are? There. That's where the shackles were.
Oh yeah, right.
So, yeah, they bring them down.
Yeah.
Shackle them up, Then, like I said, that had a 3 or 4 hour changeover. Then you'd come down, shackle and put them all away again. There was no bars.
I was going to say, was there bars? They're just open.
We didn't need
yeah,
it,
no
those
bars,
shackles.
no
Yeah,
doors.
yeah.
The whole lot.
Yeah.
You got your air vents here. They're air vents, they go right.
Oh, yeah, okay.
See the wind whistling?
Yeah, yeah.
They go right through, that's all brick. That goes all the way and comes out the top.
Yeah, wow.
And then there's another one there, the whole lot. Air vents.
We'd just done a runner to escape the rain because it just started pelting down. But that's a good little tour at the Silverstone Railway Station there. Old mate was saying in the 1860s, this place had a population of like 600. That station was running 24/7. You could get in there anytime, day or night, get a hot meal and all that. Yeah, would have been a real little hub back in the day. Not so much anymore. So about 6 k's down the road from that little railway station is a tiny little town called Wolseley, and behind me there are the old Wolseley fuel tanks. They were used to store backup supplies of fuel during World War II. So during the war, they camouflaged some of these to look like giant haystacks. They just stacked hay over them, and others were camouflaged to look like grain silos, so the enemy wouldn't know that they were a sneaky fuel supply. Very clever, yeah, and they're still standing today. So this is the campground at the back of the Wolseley Hotel. It's not much to look at, as you can see. It's just an empty paddock, but when it's rainy and 40 km/h winds, you can see the rain is just starting to come through again now. It's somewhere dry and out of the wind to sit and have a few beers, which we did last night. Tim the publican here, absolutely genuine bloke, really nice guy. He pours your beers, cooks your meals, does everything. It's a quiet little pub, let's say. But yeah, if you're in the area, definitely drop in for a beer. He's only open from 5 p.m, so it'll have to be a dinner beer pretty much. But yeah, it's a nice little pub and hospitality is bang on. We're going to head off now, possibly towards parts of the border track, but yeah, depending what this weather does. So as usual, no plan. Let's see what happens. While we were at the pub, we actually got told about this wildlife park not far out of Border Town that had white kangaroos that are not albino. So we thought we'd better stop for a look. It's still wet, wild, windy out here. We're just sort of starting to hit the, I guess the four-wheel drive-ish section of the border track. Just in that way, and we'll link into the border track. Not all of it is in National Park. In fact, most of it is not in National Park. So we're going to cruise along the border track for a bit, have a look, and see what happens. No plans.
So due to having a dog, we bailed out of the border track on the south side of the national park. We've just come up the highway and cut across, I think it's called Tiller Road, something like that, to what is the north end of the border track around the national park, and come across this sign here, border track closed. So dog or no dog, we wouldn't have been going through the national park because yeah, she's closed. So yeah, we missed out on absolutely nothing. We're having a dog here, so happy days for us, I guess. So yesterday, Arvo, we came into Big Desert State Forest and camped at the bottom of this dune that we're on right now, and decided last night we'd let a bit of air out of the tyres before bed, and then as soon as we woke up, first thing in the morning, we'd power up this dune and get up here and watch the sunrise. And I don't think it's going to be a super spectacular one with that bank of cloud on the horizon there, but it's looking to be a lot nicer day. The wind is slowly dropping as to what it has been the last couple of days, so hopefully we're in for a nice day. We'll go for an explore through this forest, and then as usual, no plan, see what happens. This is the top of Big Dune in Big Desert State Forest. It is an epic view from up here. This dune it'd have to be 30-40 meters high easy, and as you can see, you just get views for days all around here. So I think we're going to probably do a little bit more exploring in this forest this morning, and then probably head out of here at lunchtime and start heading maybe north up towards the Murray or something like that. Again, don't really know, see what happens.
But yeah, for now, just take in these views. What an epic spot.
You come from outer space, and I was sprung out from the earth. We laid down face to face to witness our rebirth, and I'm not leaving while you're breathing. I won't run away. They say it won't rise, so we'll move on. We're moving too fast, I know we're wrong.
So in our hunt for somewhere else to camp, we ended up heading back into South Australia again, but right up close to the border with Vic, and we're on the Murray River. We've gone full wiki camps because we were having trouble finding somewhere, but this spot is, I would say, moderately busy, but we've managed to find ourselves a nice little spot, relatively isolated, not going to hear the neighbours, and we've got ourselves a beautiful little beach to have a swim in, which I just did, to have a wash, which was good for the first time in a couple of days when you've been travelling desert regions. So yeah, really, really nice. Gonna sit down, have a beer and enjoy this sunset, I think. Another beautiful, serene morning on the Murray River. This little spot, as I said last night, it's just a little wiki camp, but it is a very, very nice spot. Beautiful little access to the river here. We went for a swim and all that yesterday. Yeah, I'd love to put the drone up here and show you what this whole area looks like, but there's people around, and I don't like doing it when there's people around because it is noisy and buzzy. So you'll just have to, I guess, take the ground shots and my word for the fact that this is a really pretty spot.
So let's pack our hats in the burlap sack and go.
From our camp last night, we've basically just driven around following the Murray River along. There's a bazillion camps along here, and we've just pulled into this one here and discovered an old slipway. obviously with a boat that was up for repair and just never got finished, and there's obviously one sitting in the water left to rust there. So cool little bit of history. I don't know anything about it. If anyone does, let me know. But yeah, really cool little bit of history. This might be our best spot so far. Absolutely beautiful beach, sandy, right on the edge of the Murray with a nice steep bank in, and beautiful sand into the water as well, so perfect for a proper swim. It's mid-20s today, so I think it's just about lunchtime and we might just perch up here for the day. This will do us, and yeah, in and out of the water all day, have a couple of beers, might have a fish. There's carp jumping around already, so yeah, chill out for the day. What a spot. Morning guys, we just did a very quick pack up of camp and raced about an hour away to a little town called Robinville for the Anzac Day dawn service. Very quick sort of service, it was all over in sort of 10 minutes. So we're now sitting here, it's just after 6, not really sure what to do, but it was, it was a nice little short service. We might see if we can get brekkie here, if anything's open, and then head over the border into New South Wales and sort of start, I guess, our long trip home, just moseying on. So last night the forecast was for quite a lot of rain overnight. We're up around sort of the Hay region of the Murrumbidgee River, and all of the camping along that region is basically black soil. So I really didn't want to be waking up in the morning and just having a bog fest and a winch fest to get out of camp. So instead we've come up to a little tiny town called Maud and stayed at the back of the pub last night. Put on a good meal and a few good beers, and yeah, a bit more relaxing knowing we can just get out this morning. No spectacular camp to show you this time, but still a nice spot to perch up, and a tap beer never goes astray. Very wet night, that's why we stayed at the pub. After leaving Maud, we were heading home and decided to spend the last night of our trip at the same spot we spent the very first night. Well guys, this is where we're going to finish this one. It's got very disjointed the last couple of days, so I guess that's what happens when it's a no plan. So if you've stuck in this far, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.